Okay, I make it 7 o'clock, so let's make a start. Welcome to this first meeting of the Cabinet of the new administration. Welcome to those in the audience and those watching online. Hopefully you get something out of this. My name is Councillor Shantanu Rajwa. I'm the leader of the council and chair of this meeting. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but as it's a new administration, we will go around with the Cabinet to introduce themselves and their portfolio, starting with you, Councillor Bath.
Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. I'm Councillor Lily Bath. I hold the Cabinet portfolio for adult social care and all things health and wellbeing, and I represent the Heston West ward.
Thank you, Leader. Councillor Samir Chowdhury, Hounslow Heath Ward, Cabinet Member for Transformation and Customer Experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leader. My name is Councillor Madiha Asim. I represent Felton West Ward and I'm also the Cabinet Member for Children and Young Futures.
I'm Councillor Tom Bruce. I'm the Deputy Leader of the Council and hold the Cabinet portfolio for regeneration and economic growth. Sorry, I also represent Hounslow South.
Councillor Max Mosley, representing Brentford East, Cabinet Member for Finance and Resources.
Good evening, Councillor Ajmer Gariwal, Cabinet Member for Safety, Communities and Culture, and I represent Hounslow Central Ward. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Councillor Sue Sampson, Isleworth Ward, Cabinet Member for Housing.
Hi there, I'm Councillor Salman Shaheen, also Councillor for Isleworth Ward and Cabinet Member for Environment, Transport and Public Realm.
Hi there, Councillor Amy Croft, Chiswick Riverside. I'm Cabinet Member for Infrastructure, Enforcement and Recycling.
Thank you, colleagues. And just for fullness, I represent the Heston West Ward. So those that have just introduced themselves are the decision makers. We're joined around the table by officers of the council who are not taking part in the decision making, but are on hand to offer any advice and support as required. We've got a lot to get through in today's agenda. Lots of good work, lots of things to talk about. So we're going to go straight into it, starting with apologies for absence. I think we're all here. Members, are there any declarations of interest that you'd like to declare at this point? No. Any communications from members? No. Good. Members are reminded to take note of the monitoring officer's note on interests. We then move on to the second item on the agenda, which is the minutes of the meeting held on the 16th of March. I'll take those page by page for both accuracy and matters arising. Page 7, page 8, page 9, page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, and finally page 14. Colleagues, oh, no? Okay, are you happy for me to note those, to sign those minutes? Agreed? Agreed. Thank you very much. Right, item 3 on the agenda is the budget outturn for 25-26. I'm so used to presenting this, I'm not going to do it now. Over to you, Councillor Mosley.
Well, thank you, Leader, and thank you for your good stewardship until now. I'm pleased to have this role. This budget outturn, for those who don't know, represents our monitoring of our financial position for the year 25-26. For those who are very familiar with the Council's finances, you'll know that this is the final budget outturn before the implementation of fair funding. It serves as an important backdrop, therefore, for the budget that was set this year. So I'll just go through some key headlines. Overall, we are demonstrating a much improved financial position thanks to good discipline, with very low year overspend and financial maturity across the whole organisation, which is shown in our results. We are still undertaking our benchmarking work, but we are expecting to be seen favourably to other councils in terms of budget accuracy and outturn performance, certainly within the upper quartile, I'll be pleased to know. One of the sort of key stories I think that's worth focusing on in particular is the housing revenue account, the HRA. This, as some will know, has had some reserve levels below where we'd like them to be. which is around 50% of revenue. So part of the council's financial strategy has been to replenish those reserve levels up to being above that very important threshold. That trajectory is not just on track, but now ahead of schedule. We've been able to strengthen this by an additional £3 million more than initially forecasted. So that has made quite a marked step change in the forecast for when we will be at a sufficient balance for HRA. This isn't just a financial metric that's important to this council. It also matters very much to residents who rely on the services provided by the HRA, including housing services and housing repairs. Something that I know as a ward councillor is very important to residents. So I'm very pleased to see this step change, which brings our projected meeting of the thresholds further closer, which is very good news. In addition to that good news, you'll be pleased to know that we are currently forecasting a profit within Lambton, a slender profit of £100,000. I can't take any credit for this, as this is very, very soon into my role. While I'm sure we will pore over the detail of what has driven that, given that it is again ahead of our forecast and ahead of schedule, it is testament that the work of this administration, previous administrations and officers has delivered a much more sound finances for this very important vehicle of ours. So that's some of the good news. Some of the more concerning areas that will require some monitoring from this cabinet moving forward, in particular, is the schools balance. I'm sure people know the sort of general backdrop to schools' finances across the UK. If you don't, there is nationally a trend of falling pupil roll, which is a challenge. Part of that is driven by generally lower birth rates that is affecting our schools. We receive our funding for schools on a per pupil basis, which means that it is a challenge when we have a falling pupil roll. This council is working very hard on therefore trying to match the cost to the income that we have, but that remains a growing area of concern. Our capital programme, which is really important for the services that we provide as a council, requires, again, close scrutiny. There is some slippage in our capital delivery programme. Financially, in the immediate term, doesn't have a huge impact because that money is already budgeted for. It just means we haven't been able to start the projects that we're hoping to. From the council's perspective, from this administration's perspective, we have to understand what those projects are and what implication that might have on finances moving forward. But overall, Leader, you'll be pleased to know that our financial position is moving in the right direction. We're moving towards a more secure and sustainable position. We can replenish our reserves in future budget cycles. So I can ask a cabinet to approve recommendations on page 16 in the report pack.
Thank you, Councillor Mosley. I'll formally second and reserve my right to speak. So it's open for discussion and debate. Anybody like to contribute to this? Councillor Sampson.
Thank you, Leader. I'm very happy to take the credit for the HRA. The HRA has delivered a particularly strong performance, achieving a surplus of more than 5 million compared with a planned surplus of 1.7 million. This represents an improvement on the approximately 3.3 million, which will be added to the HRA reserves. On the capital side of the HRA, delivery remains strong with a 28.1 million of the 30 million estate investment programme delivered, be it 94%. Progress towards the target reserve level of 15% is ahead of schedule, providing greater capacity to invest and manage future risks. The strengthened reserve position increases resilience and supports future house building and investment plans. I'm very happy that we have achieved this, and I'd like to thank the officers for their work, for working with me so well over this last 25 to 26 financial year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sampson. Anyone else? Yeah, and I think that is the story of this report, fiscal discipline, really being focused on not only managing the money well, but managing good, high-quality services. And the discipline we're displaying here will really help deliver so much of the corporate plan that we're going to talk about in a little while. So whilst absolutely we can pat ourselves on the back, we're not complacent about it. We will carry on having to work hard. We know that demand pressures exist across the system and they won't change. God, it sounds like I'm being really negative. It is a positive story, and I think we've demonstrated that we have the ability to manage wherever we see problems in the system. So really pleased to second this report, and thank you, Max, for moving it. If there's no one else to speak on this, we'll move straight to the vote. which is on page 16, 1 to 12. Can I see all those in favour? That is carried. Thank you very much. Right, we then move on to agenda item 4, delivery plan monitoring for Q4 25-26. So the eagle-eyed amongst you will note that this is a delivery plan relating to our last corporate plan, Ambitious for Hounslow. Of course, a lot of work happened in there, and we've been following progress of that. This gives the final update before we approve the new corporate plan. It's important to say that there are still projects and work within that have carried over into the new corporate plan because they are longer term projects, and that's absolutely right, and they'll be reflected in the work that we do with the new corporate plan. But in terms of what we have in front of us, just a reminder, we have the 3 portfolios, Place, Capital and 4 portfolios, People, Place, Capital and Digital. Part of the recommendations on this are to approve the transition of the adult social care system reform program into business as usual. That was a big piece of work that's delivered a lot of benefits, and it can now become business as usual. And similarly, the children's model of care program into business as usual. There's a lot of detail in here. I don't propose to go through all the detail, but of course, if anyone wants to speak on this, they're more than welcome. So I'll formally move it. You can second it?
Yes, happy to second it and reserve my right to speak.
Cool. It's been moved and seconded. It's now for discussion. I've got Councillor Chowdhury, then Councillor Asim, then Councillor Bath, and then we'll move over there. Cool.
Thank you, Leader. Great achievements in this report, and I'm pleased to see the strong progress being made through the transforming our community experience program. We have successfully introduced new digital processes across the key council services, including elections, waste and recycling, safer communities, and customer services. It's also great to see the successful completion of the resident experience project, with all libraries sites now converted into community hubs. And this is an important step in making our services more accessible, efficient and focused on the needs of our residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Chowdhury. Councillor Asim.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm pleased to highlight the strong progress made across the Children and Young Futures portfolio. The children's model of care has strengthened prevention and early intervention, helping more children remain safely with their families. The programme has also delivered positive outcomes, including recruiting 5 new foster carer candidates. I would like to put on record my thanks to officers for their work on SEND and alternative provision, which has reduced DSG pressures, increased mainstream capacity, and exceeded SEND inclusion targets. We are also successfully submitting our SEND reform plan within the government's deadline. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Asim. Councillor Bath.
Thank you. I just wanted to say a few things around the People's programme, particularly around adult social care system reform. So obviously a lot of work, as you said, has gone into this, and I actually wanted to thank all the officers and the partners for their really hard work. It has been a very well managed programme, and it has improved processes and of course led to better outcomes for residents. The programme itself, I mean, I won't go into all the different projects, but some of the key projects included shared lives and targeted reviews, all have been successfully concluded. And we're maintaining a particular focus to add support to where it really adds value. So for around client contributions and debt recovery to maximise financial benefits for the council. So the other thing to note is that council has updated and improved adult social care services by bringing in practical and cost-effective ways of working to help people stay independent for longer and improve their quality of life. As you know, it's really important that we continue to do that, because we know we've got a growing demand on our services by an ageing population and those that will come to us with increasingly complex care needs. We will also continue to support the Extra Care project, because we know we need that in terms of accommodation and care provision for residents. I'd also like to say that I'm happy with the programme and the success of it, and also the fact that we've got 180,000 underspend that we can put back into the transformation fund for further investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bath. Good news indeed. Councillor Ajmer-Garawal.
Thank you, Leader. There are many areas in the people portfolio which cover my portfolio. The Transforming Our Community Experience, TCE, programme has introduced a new digital process across the range of services, including in safer communities. Another key milestone has been the successful conversion of all library sites into community hubs, completing the Resident Experience project. Our community hubs provide an enhanced offer for residents while making better use of our buildings and community assets. And I'm particularly excited that in the place portfolio, we are looking at Feltham Town Centre and improving St Catherine's Tower as a heritage asset as part of our commitment to highlighting the amazing heritage we have here in Hounslow. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Garawal. Councillor Sampson.
Thank you, Leader. I just wanted to add that this delivery plan conveys that we are making significant progress on our new build programme, which will deliver much needed affordable homes for Hounslow residents. This will support more local families access safe, secure and high quality housing. These developments demonstrate our commitment to tackling the housing shortage and reducing homelessness. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sampson. Councillor Sheen.
Thank you very much, Leader. Lots that I can highlight here. I'll try and be as brief as possible. Parks, our master plans are continuing apace. We're continuing also apace with the improvements to Avenue Park. At Redleys Park, we put in the bay markings of parking bay markings have been refreshed. There, I was down at Emmanuel Hollow in Duke's Meadows only the other day, where we'd seen a fairly disused patch of scrubby mud transformed into a wonderful new gateway for our borough. So thank you to all the different partners who worked on that with us. On the leisure front, we're making good progress on our plans for the regeneration of Brentford Fountain Leisure Centre. So I look forward to that work continuing